Non puedo varan. Mama oyata e adere. Hebi oya hindam atagodak prashna unat.
All right. Now let me share my screen once more. All right. Everybody is able to see my screen. Okay, let's open the notes. And then we'll start the next topic. Second, let's open the. One second, it is opening. 1 second more. Okay. Now we are moving towards the next topic because we already understand how do we search different types of different ways to search the availability, different airlines availability, and then so and so on. Now we are going to learn apart from this availability searching, we are going to learn the PNR creation. Now, anybody can anyone tell me the what is the full form of PNR? PNR means it's a passenger name record. Okay. The full form of PNR is a passenger name record. And in the PNR, what all information present? So in the PNR contains the detail of the passenger's reservation and what type of details related to the passenger that are related to the passenger's trip and passenger's information. So passenger's information means email ID, phone number, the passenger's meal, passenger's frequent flyer number, those informations are present there. And passengers trip related information means on which date passenger is traveling, in which class of service or in which cab, from where to where the passenger is traveling. These kind of information are present in passengers trip. Okay. And each PNR have a collection of informations. So each one of the PNR have a certain collection of information. Suppose there is a passenger's mobile number. So that is also a collection of, that is also information. Email ID, also an information. So likewise, there are certain collection of information and each information, grouped information called as an element. So suppose there is an information, email ID and phone number. So both of them comes under the contact information. So that goes under one element. Suppose there is a phone number present in the PNR. So that is one element. There is an email ID present in the PNR. That is also a single element. Okay. So likewise, each PNR consists of a collection of PNR, and that information items are called as an elements. Now, if you go and see that in a single PNR, how many maximum such information present there? The maximum elements are 999. Like if you were add phone number, that's one element. If you add email ID, then one element. Then if you add a frequent flyer number, then one element. Then if you add passport number, visa number, these are called one information. So like if you are going to add one information in one PNR, so how many maximum information that you can add in a single PNR? Tell me. 999. Out of that 999 maximum information or elements, there are 5 mandatory elements which anyhow must be present to create a PNR, because without those 5 elements, the PNR cannot be completed. Okay. So how many mandatory elements present a PNR? That five mandatory elements. All right. And what all those five mandatory elements are? So the first element, which is name element. Okay. Now, in the name element, what type of information should be present of the passenger? Can anyone tell me? The name of the passenger who all are traveling. Okay, so that information is present. Now, the next second a mandatory element must be present in the itinerary, or that means in the PNR, that is an itinerary element. Okay, and that and the itinerary element, there will be a booking of the flight or the other service information that are present in this itinerary element. The third element, contact element, the fourth, ticketing element, and the fifth is the received from the element. That means the person who is creating, the person who is responsible for creating that PNR. That name should be present there. Okay, is that clear to all the five mandatory elements? Name, itinerary, contact, ticketing, and the reference from. And now, in simple and in short, we call all those five mandatory also, all five mandatory elements. Can anyone tell me what are those five mandatory elements? Can anyone tell me? Yes, we call that a print. So P stands for phone number, R stands for reference, I stands for itinerary, N stands for name, T stands for ticketing. So these five mandatory elements will be remembered, will be learned as an PRINT. So which I did here in this notes. If you see my notes, and what I did, I have in the Amadeus, any one of the mandatory elements can be entered at any point of time. There will be no problem. However, just to make you all understand, we have started the first mandatory element, which is an itinerary element. Why have entered? Why do we start with an itinerary element? Because first of all, you have to you ask question to the passenger that tell me where are you planning to go, or tell me the travel date and the sector. So that is the first question that you always ask to the passenger. So the same thing, the mandatory element should be present, and that we start is itinerary element. So in the itinerary element, how do we go and start searching the itinerary? Can anyone tell me? That itinerary element consists of two different commands. How many commands should be present to search the itinerary and to go and book the itinerary? Two commands. The number one, availability command. So AN 10th June, Colombo to, let's bank, not Bangkok. Let's find out Chennai. Colombo to Chennai in Sri Lankan Airlines with a business class available cabin. Now, I searched the business cabin. Now, which one is the lowest class of service in the business cabin? I here I did this thing. We have learned how to search the availability. Now, the next set of command, which is very much important to learn how to sell the seats. And I have chosen, and the passenger has already informed me that book me into the lowest business cabin. So the I is the lowest business cabin class. How do I sell? I will sell, or I can sell in two ways, either by clicking, that means there is a click way and there is a command. So first of all, I will type the command and then I will show you the click way as well. So if I want to sell the two seats from the I class, so the command which is given here in the quick reference guide, see it here. If you want to sell one seat from the Y class, from the flight line number 3, how do you go and work? The command which is SS. SS stands for Segment selling. SS stands for segment selling. How many seats that you want to sell? Two seats. Okay. From which class of service? I class. Now, if you notice, in all the three flights, each one of them have I class. So definitely the system will confuse that which of the flight number, which of the flight timing you are going to sell. So if passenger is okay with the early morning flight, then you can use this one. If passenger is okay with the morning flight or the afternoon flight, then so passenger is okay with the early morning flight. So tell me at what line number the early morning flight is. It is at line number 1. So I need to enter the flight line number. So this will denote and this will identify that, okay, the system will automatically pick the 2 seats from I class from the flight line number 1. Do it. Now, the system will automatically pick the 2 seats from the I class. Didn't you notice here? Yes, no? Now, the moment you do so, you see two things. Do you see here one indication giving here? That is SFP. What does this SFP stands for? Let me type here. SFP stands for Secure Flight Passenger Info or Information. Okay, so whenever you see on the face of the PNR, right hand side, left of the PNR, or the itinerary, if you see SFP, it always, if you show as an SFP, it means that the passenger and the PNR, you need to add docs data. Docs data means passport information needs to be added. Passport info needs to be added. Clear? So whenever you see on the face of the PNR, SFP is given on as a 3-letter code, it means that in the PNR, you must have to add the passport data or passport information. Is that clear? Now, apart from this, do you see here RP? Now, what does this RP stands for? RP stands for responsible PNR. Who is the person and which of from which of the office ID the PNR is created? So that RP responsible PNR, and who is the responsible office ID who is creating this PNR? Tell me. CMB 1A0900. So this office ID is responsible for office or for this PNR creation. Okay. Apart from this, there's line number 1, which is UL airline flight number 125 in the I class, 10th of June. Now, what does this 6 stands for? Can anyone tell me what does this 6 stands for? Yes, that stands for the week. The flight is on which of the day? That the day is Saturday. Okay, from Colombo to Chennai. Now, what does this DK2 stands for? DK2 is the PNR status. And whenever you only sell the seats, it always show you as in DK. DK means the airline has confirmed the availability. However, if you save the PNR, if you create the PNR, the status will change from DK to HK, which means holding confirmed. Now it's doing confirmed, which means now it has been confirmed by the airline. The seats are confirmed. However, if you create the PNR, then it will change to HK. Else, this will not be confirmed. Okay. If you save the PNR, then it will get confirmed. Is that clear? That's a PNR status. Now, what is the departure time? 1 in the morning and arrival at 2:25. That's the date of travel. Is it a date of travel or is it a date of arrival? That's a date of arrival. What is the date of travel? 10th of June. That's a date of arrival. E stands for electronic ticket. What does this zero stands for? No, it's a non-stop flight, not a direct flight. This is the aircraft. And what does this H stands for? Can anyone tell me what does this H stand? Steps. Now, the itinerary steps is completed. Don't you think that itinerary steps is created? I have already performed AN command, that means availability. Then I have performed the seat selling command. Okay.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Yeah, actually, there was some connection issue. That is the reason I got disconnected. I hope everybody can hear my voice. Yes, no? Okay. Let me share my screen once more. So whenever you see here H means it's a hot meal provided in the airline. If it is showing as an M means it's a proper meal will be provided. If it is showing as an only R, so it's a refreshment will be provided. So there are certain one letter code, and that letter code gives you the meaning that what type of meal will be provided. So it's a hot meal provided from Colombo to Chennai. Okay. Is that clear? Now, this is the way you can sell the seat for Colombo to Chennai. Now, I want to sell the return segment as well. So, how would I sell the return segment? Tell me, what will I do to just sell the return segment? Huh? Dikshan, RT will not help you. If I want to sell the return segment, very nice, Shahad. Now you come to the right answer. ACR. What happens? it will change the availability in return. And now you need to provide the return date, 10th July. So what happened? The passenger wants to return on 10th of July. Now see the display. Okay. Actually, there was a connection error. That is the reason the ACR is not right now working. However, it will definitely work within the 3 minutes of the availability command, within the 3 minutes of time span. Okay. And then there are no other commands performed because I have already performed some other commands. So then if it happened with you, so then you need to perform AN 10th July. Um, Chennai to Colombo in Sri Lankan Airlines. Now, this time I want to sell in the lowest available class of service. Now, tell me which one is the lowest available class? Please put yourself on camera off. Hassan, please put yourself camera off. Oscar is the lowest class. Now, how would I sell 2 seats in Oscar class? Tell me the command. You all tell me the command first of all. SS2, somebody said, oh, S1. No, Muhammad Adil. I said to that sell the seat in Oscar class. No, S class. All right. So somebody replied. And what about others? Why are other people not replying? Yes. So SS2 Oscar and from the flight line number 1. All right. Now remember the previously I said that first of all I will show you the command and next I will show you the click one. So the command and the click will have the same way or same display. So here what I'll do, I'm not going to enter the command. I'm going to sell the seat from Oscar class by clicking on that. So you go on Oscar class and see the here the command. So if you want to sell 1 seat, you need to go and click on first line number. If you want to sell 2 seats, go and click on this line, second line number. So which one should I perform? First or second? Second. So quickly click on that one. The moment you click on this one, again, it will not, okay, there is some issue going on. I think I took so much time. All right, now the Oscar class is not available. Now, which one is the lowest class of service available right now? Cubic class. So I'll just go and click on quickly in cubic one. Now here, the command automatically adds at the line number 2. Now Amadeus has facility to automatically adjust the line numbers. So it will automatically adjust under this second first segment. Do you see this one? Colombo to Chennai is at line number 1. Chennai to Colombo at line number 2 because this is the return segment. Okay, is that clear? Now I have created a round trip journey. I have created a round trip journey for Colombo, Chennai, Chennai, Colombo. How many seats that I have sold out here? Tell me. 2 seats. So now in this, how many, in this 2 sets seat selling, how many passengers that I can add in this display? Okay, somebody said 2. Okay, all of you are telling me 2. But the passenger said that there is an adult who is traveling, that there is an infant traveling, there is a child traveling also. So now how will you add all those 3 information or all those 3 passengers detail in the PNR? That I am going to share with you. Here, passenger has already requested you to add that there is a child passenger traveling. I'm sorry, there is a child passenger traveling. There is a infant passenger also traveling, and there is an adult passenger traveling. So there are 3 different types of passengers who are traveling. So how would you add all those information or all those names? So let me scroll down to the next page of the quick reference guide, and here is the command. So here, if you are going to add the name element, how are you going to start? So the basic entry means if you are going to only add an adult passenger name, this is the way. But here there is one more infant who is going to attach with that adult passenger. So how are you going to add an accompanied infant? So always remember, if you are going to uh, if there is an infant traveling with an adult passenger, so that infant should be associated with that adult passenger. And how do you add, or how would you enter that command that will automatically associate the adult passenger with an infant traveler? So the command will be nm1. Nm1 stands for that I am going to add one passenger name, and I'm going to add a passenger name, and this is the command nm1. I'm going to simply add a passenger name. Now, have you noticed in the passport, the last name always been at the it shows in the first. So first of all, you have to add the passenger's last name. So I'm going to take my example. Mishra is my last name slash NAVINKUMAR. That's my given name as per the passport. Is that clear to everyone? And then I have to enter my title, Mr. Because I am an adult passenger. So that is the reason I am going to add a Mr. here. Now, let's take an example. If there is a female passenger here, so what will be the title that I will use here? Uh, do not use Mrs. How would you judge that is a married? So instead of doing this Mrs., you always use Miss. Okay, MS. Okay, that will be the preferable way. Otherwise, you need to ask the ma'am, are you married? Are you single? That's very awkward. So you just simply add Miss. All right. However, generally, it is allowed, or it is given, it is informed that you always use and always add the name as per the passport. So whatever is written in the passport, that should be entered. So suppose if there is no title mentioned in the passport, do not enter. But the system will allow you to enter the passport title of the passenger. But in the passport, if there is no title mentioned, so do not enter. All right. So you need to just confirm with the airline. Clear? Now here I have added the adult passenger number. That means adult passenger name. I'm not sorry, not the number, it's a name. I have added the adult passenger's name. Now I have to associate the infant name as well. So how do I associate the infant name with that adult passenger? I need to start a bracket. First of all, I need to enter a bracket. And after the bracket, I need to enter the type of a passenger. So what type of passenger is this? It's an infant passenger. So I have to enter the 3-letter code of it. That means a passenger type code. It's an infant passenger. Okay. After this, I need to enter slash and the given name of the infant. So let's take an example in the passport of infant, because of obviously the infant passenger has also be a passport, then he can travel to international. So in the passport, the infant passenger's surname is Mishra. Okay, because it's his kid, so definitely he used this his own surname. So if the passport having the last name, that means the same surname who is having the passengers, that adult passenger's surname. Okay. The infant surname is similar to the adult passenger's surname. Clear? Then no need to enter the surname again. Okay. However, if you want to enter the infant passenger surname as well, so you can enter. Suppose I don't want to get a confusion, so I am going to use and enter the infant name as per the passport. So as per the passport, the infant passenger surname is Mishra. slash and ATHARV, Atharv Kumar is the given name of the infant passenger. Clear? So this is the given name. This is the surname of the infant passenger. So what I did, I entered INF, the surname, the given name. After entering the given name, you use again a slash and enter the date of birth. So what will be the format of date of birth? The date of format is 10th, not 10th, 2nd August. That's the way, 02 AUG, that's the MMM, and the year. So let's take an example that the year of birth is 2022. So do not write 2022, only enter the last two digits and close the bracket. So this is the way you can enter, you have to enter the passenger's infant passenger name entry. Is there any confusion and is there any question? How do we add the infant passenger name? Any question, please ask me. Enter. The moment you do, the system will automatically accept here with the passenger's surname, the given name, and the date of birth. Now, what type of flag is showing you here? NHP. What is the full form of NHP? NHP means non-homogeneous PNR. Non-homogeneous PNR. Which means, tell me how many seats that I have sold out? 2 seats. And how many passengers name as of now I have added here? Only a one passenger, because this uh, here the infant is already associated with the adult passenger. That's the reason it's not showing as an passenger added here. Now, remember, passenger has said that there is one adult, one infant, and one child. So infant is already added, adult passenger is already added. Now I need to add a child passenger. How will you add the child passenger? Now look at the quick reference guide. Now tell me, how do you add the child passenger name? Can anyone tell me the command with the help of this command? Tell me the complete command in the chat box. I'm waiting for your response. Take your relatives example, relatives child example, and then give me the name entry in the chat box. Complete entry. All right, that's great. Okay, so everybody answered that question. So NM1 is the common entry. Then again, I need to enter the last name of the child passenger, the given name, the title. If it is a female passenger, you use MISS Miss. Suppose it's a male passenger. Now, what is the title that I have to use for the child passenger? That's an MSTR, master. Okay, for a female passenger, I have to use Miss. And then open a bracket, then enter the passenger type code, CHD, then again enter the slash and the date of birth. For the child as well, the date of birth is mandatory to enter. Okay, now enter here. Now, do you see the flag? It's get vanished. Do you see this? It get removed here. It gets not reflecting right now. The moment you enter the child passenger name. Why? Because the system understand that 2 seats are sold out, 2 names are added. So there is no homogeneity error. And just because of this, it got vanished here. Very nice, Priyadarshini. Clear to everyone? How do you add a child passenger name? How do you add infant with an adult? That means how do you add associate an infant with an adult passenger? Clear? Now tell me how many elements that I have added, how many elements that we have already added in the PNR? Can anyone tell me how many elements that we have added? The itinerary element is added. The name element is added. That means the second element we have already added. Now moving towards the next element, which is AP element. Quickly moving to the quick reference guide and let me show you this phone field. Here, it is given that you can enter the phone number through this command. So suppose you are working in a travel agency and you always want the travel agency name should be entered and should be present in each one of the PNR so that you can understand that this PNR is created by XYZ travel agency. Then don't you think that if you want to enter the travel agency number, how do you enter? See, how are you going to enter the travel agency number? The command is AP and enter. Now, the moment you do AP and enter, what will happen? It will automatically enter the agency profile. AP stands for agency profile number. And this is the number of this travel agency number, Amadeus Lanka Private Limited. Okay. If you want to add the phone number of a passenger, then how do you add? Tell me. If you want to enter the mobile number of a passenger, how do you add? APM is the command, and then enter, give a hyphen and the phone number. That's it. Enter. So this is the passenger's mobile number, which will be added through this way. APM and the mobile number. Clear? If you want to add the passenger's email ID, APE dash and the email ID. Let's take my example, amadeus.co.in. This is the way you can add the passenger's email ID. See? Okay. Any question? How do you add the passenger's mobile number? How do you add the passenger's email ID? Anybody has any question? All right. Now, the third element we have already added. The third element is phone element. Yes or no? Now let's go and add the fourth element. Which one will be the fourth element? The ticketing element. Ticketing element. How do you add the ticketing element and what is the ticketing element? So ticketing element means you are going to show an indication that what are you going to do with the PNR. So if you're going to issue the PNR today, so definitely it means that you are going to, your PNR should be in ticketing in order. That means please issue that PNR very as soon as possible. So if you want to do so, then you perform a command, you enter a command TK OK. Let's enter the TK OK and enter. The TK OK will automatically pick the current date. Tell me, where do you see the TK OK command? Tell me at the line number. Line number 8. Now, what is the date showing you at line number 8? That's the 28th of February, which means that the PNR is okay to issue on this 28th of February. Okay, this is the indication in the system that, okay, PNR is okay, passenger had already paid the amount, please issue the ticket today. That is the indication given in the system. Okay, now whether you issue the PNR or not, it is certain, or it is a different topic. However, it's a system indication that what are you going to do with the PNR? And because this is one of the mandatory element for creation of PNR, just because of this, you have to use this one. Okay? Yes, no? Any questions about TK? Okay. Now, suppose if you don't want to issue the ticket today, if you want certain time, because passenger has given, okay, please give me 2 or 3 days, I'll make the payment, or I will not make the payment today, I'll make the payment day after tomorrow or tomorrow. So he is asking for a certain time limit. Okay. And for that time limit, you need to enter the ticketing time limit. So what should you write here? TK, TL, and the date. Okay. Is that clear? So I have here now, remember one thing. Always remember one thing. There should be at least one ticketing element present in the PNR. It should not be possible that you can enter multiple ticketing elements in the PNR. There should be always one ticketing element. That's the mandatory one. So that is already present in the PNR. Yes, no? So then do I need to add one more ticketing element in the PNR? No, because I have already entered that, okay, ticket is in order, issue the ticket. There's no problem. So that is the reason I'm not going to add the ticketing time limit, but I just share you why, when do we use this ticketing time limit? Okay. Now, after entering the ticketing time limit, which one is the fifth element? Tell me which one will be the fifth element. The fifth element is the reference element. Reference element means the person who is responsible for creating the PNR. So tell me, who is responsible for creating this PNR? All right. And if I am creating the PNR, then who is responsible? Yes. So then how would you denote in the PNR that this PNR is created and this PNR is responsible for me to create, for the creation? RF is the command. RF means reference from. Okay. Who reference from and the name of a person who is creating the PNR. Either you enter the complete name, either you enter the initial Naveen Mishra. N stands for Naveen, M stands for Mishra. Either one of the way you can do so. Press enter. The moment you do so, on the top left hand side, do you see one RF already showing you here, which means that it is the person who is responsible for the PNR creation. It shows only at the first time. That means it shows only at the time of entering the command. Now I have entered, so it is showing you here. Okay. Now after doing this, I have to save the PNR. And how would I complete and how would I end the transaction which I did already, which we were doing? So that will be done through the end transaction command, and that is going to work with an end and redisplay. So if suppose this is the single PNR that you are creating, and this is the PNR which you are creating for you, one of the passenger, and you want to work something more. You want to work something more on the PNR. You want to add some more elements in the PNR. You want to issue the PNR. You want to do some extra thing in the PNR. Okay. Then you have to, you will do ER. That means E stands for end. See here, E stands for end, and then redisplay the PNR. Okay. But suppose your job is to only create n number of PNRs daily. Suppose in your organization said, the supervisor said that you have to create 100 PNRs daily. So what will you do? Will you go and see every element that is present is correct or not? If you know that, okay, I have whatever the entry or whatever the element that is mandatory to create a PNR, I have entered it correctly. No worries. I don't want to display that. I don't want to see the PNR again. Then what will you do? You use this one, end and ignore the PNR. So what will happen? It will end the PNR. That means it will create the PNR and it will be ignored from the background. But it will not again redisplay in front of you. Okay. So now understood the ET meaning? ET means end and redisplay the PNR. Okay. Understood, Sahan? Any question? Yes, Diksha. Ask your question. TK Excel is only being used. Suppose you don't want to follow up with the passenger and you said automatically to the passengers, sir, if you did not make the payment for a certain date, the PNR will automatically gets cancelled. Okay. Now there is a discussion done with the passenger. So what you will do TK Excel and the date. So on that dates, let's take on 6th of April, the PNR will automatically get cancelled. Okay. Suppose tomorrow, if passenger will not make the payment, the PNR gets cancelled. So that is the reason TKXL is given. Okay. The automatically system cancel that PNR. Now, understood this ER and ET? Anybody has any question? ER and ET? Please reply that there's no question so that I can move. Okay. Now, tell me, what should I do here? Should I type ER or should I type here ET? Tell me. If I do ET here, then what will happen? If I do ET, so it will create the PNR and ignored from the background. Now, again, here, remember one thing. If you were doing ET, that means the last command, and once you receive any warning, do you see this warning? Now, this warning says that secure flight passenger data required for ticketing passenger number 1 and 2. That means for both the passenger, you must have to enter type of data. I already shared if it is an SFPD data, what type of data required to enter? Docs entry or a passport information needs to be added. Before when? Before the ticket issuance, you must have the passport data entered in the PNR. Otherwise, it will not be allowed by the system to issue the ticket. So that is the reason it is giving you the warning right now that no worries, you can create a PNR, but the ticket will not be issued without entering the passport data. Okay. Now, whenever you receive any kind of warning, now what will you do? You will perform the last command which you have performed. Tell me, what is the last command that you have performed here? ET. So you need to repeat the same command just to override the warning. Just to override the warning. So the warning has been given here by the system. So I need to override because, okay, I understand that, okay, I need to add the data, but right now I'm not going to ticket the PNR. Override the warning, ET. The moment you do ET, it will give you a message, end of the transaction complete. And this is the PNR which has been created, which means the PNR is created and this is the PNR number. Okay. If I need to copy and save it to somewhere else, I can copy and store it, or you can start working in whatever you are working, or whatever the next job that you need to do. Okay. Is that clear, Diksha? Is that clear to everyone? Now, you all tell me this time. I have opened the PNR. Now, I am going to start again RFNM. Now, this time, I don't want to perform ET. This time, I am going to perform ER. Now, what will happen if I do ER? See here. Again, it will give you the warning. Then what is the next command that I need to enter? Tell me. Again, repeat the last command, ER. Now, see, the moment you do ER, it will save the PNR, it will end the transaction and redisplay the PNR. So now the PNR gets redisplayed. That is the difference between ER and ET. I hope everybody understood between the difference between ER and ET. Anybody has any questions? Tell me. All right. So this is the way you can create a PNR. Now, if you see my notepad, the first step I have written here, the first step as an itinerary element, then the name element, already did it, the phone element, the ticketing element, and the fifth step, reference element. Sixth step is the saving PNR element. Now there is one more step, saving the seventh step is also given and also mandatory. However, it is not mandatory for PNR creation, but however, it is mandatory to enter the data in the PNR. And what type of data? That is the passenger phone number and the email ID must be present in the PNR as per airline or as per IATA. And the phone number and the email ID which is given here is not being going to be used by the passenger. Sorry, is not going to be used by the airline. It is just for your purpose. It is not for the airline purpose. The airline asks to enter, airline asks you to send the data or passenger's phone number, email ID in a different way. And that is done through this step. How do you enter the passenger mobile number? The command is given here, srctcm and the mobile number. This is the special request command to enter the passenger mobile number, which will be read by the airline and which airline use for his purpose. And this is mandatory to enter as per IATA and as per the airline. Segment number 6 and 7 are not important. Okay, if you're telling me it is important. Now, can anyone tell me why it is important? Because for PNR creation, at least one of the phone elements should be present. Otherwise, the PNR will not be created. Understood? Saad? Yes, that is the reason it is very much important. Any one of the element, not both, but any one of the element. That is one of the reason that I have entered here. All right. But here, the phone number which I am entering, it is for the airline purpose. Airline 100% requires the passenger email ID and the phone number. And that will be sent through this way. The airline will only see the phone number through this way. Okay, airline they have already shared to all of the travel agency that every time you need to enter the passenger contact number through this SRCTCM. Clear to everyone? Any question? Can I explain this command? So this is the command SRCTCM and put a dash here. After entering the dash, you need to enter the passenger's mobile number and then put a slash and then enter the 2-letter country code. Now, why have I to enter the country number? That is 2-letter country code. Because how the airline will understand that the phone number belongs to which part of the world? How? Because the Lanka country have a different country code. The Singapore have a different country code. So the moment they read this 2-letter country code, they understand, okay, that's the dialing code for that particular country is different. So they add the particular dialing country code and then they dial and they connect to the passenger. All right. So every time you have to enter the two-letter country code as well. Slash and the two-letter country code. Is that clear? Yes, no? Now, if I enter this phone number here, if I press enter, what will happen? The phone number, because can you tell me how many passengers are there in this PNR? There are two different passengers. If I do not do anything changes, so the number belongs to both passenger. That means this number belongs to both passenger. Okay, because here I'm not adding any passenger association, because here I'm just adding the general phone number for both the passenger. But if I know, and if passenger has already shared that this number belongs to Naveen Kumar Mishra, okay, so how does the airline understand that if I call to this number, I will directly contact Naveen Kumar Mishra? By adding passenger association. So what I'll do, I put a slash and P2. So what happened here? The system understand, okay, this phone number belongs to Lanka country and the phone number belongs to the passenger number 2 who is present in the PNR. All right, press enter. See, this SSR element gets added here at line number 12. Now understood, Madhushinka, how do we associate this phone number to the passenger association? I did it very normal. I put slash because now I am going to do passenger association. This phone number belongs to Lanka country for which passenger? Passenger number 2. If I want to add this phone number to passenger number 1, what should I write here instead of P2? Tell me. P1, that's simple. If there is a three passenger and this phone number belongs to passenger number 3rd, then I enter P3. That's very simple. Clear? As passenger association. Clear? Now I have added the passenger phone number. Okay. Now I'm going to add the passenger email ID. How would I add the passenger email ID? The command is srctce. srctce. M stands for mobile number, E stands for email ID. Then put a dash and the email ID. Now let's take an example. nm underscore Kumar Mishra @gmail.com. Let's take an example. This is the passenger email ID. Passenger share that this is my email ID. Please add in the email section of the PNR. Okay, so what I did, I entered srctce email ID of the passenger. Press enter. Now, the moment you enter, it says the invalid character in the SSR. Now, you need to check what is invalid character. Now, do you feel and do you think that this .com is an invalid character? This Gmail is the invalid character? Or this @ is the invalid character? So definitely @ is invalid character. This minus is invalid character and this underscore is an invalid character. So as per ITA, all those characters have a standard format. Okay, and every travel agent, every airline understand that format. So you need to replace those special characters with that special format. So now I'm going to show this special format in the quick reference guide. See, which is given here. Leave it. I'm going to show in my notes here. So use // in place of what? In place of what? I need to use // @. So here, instead of @, what should I write here? // Now, this is one another character, special character. So instead of, in place of underscore, what is allowed to use? Tell me, in place of underscore, what is allowed to use? dot and slash. So this is my underscore. So I need to enter dot and slash. Now, instead of minus, that means hyphen sign, what should I write here or what should I use? Okay, I'm sorry. There is a confusion. If there will be underscore, then you use double dot. Use this double dot for underscore and use dot and slash for minus. Okay, I'm really sorry. This time I'm going to paste in your chat for your future reference. Okay, double dot in place of what? Underscore. So let me quickly add here as in double dot, not dot and slash. Instead of minus, then I use dot and slash. Clear to everyone? Now the system add automatically. See, here is the, now, do you see the difference at line number 12? It is showing you as an HK1. What does it stand for? HK1 means this phone number belongs to passenger number 2, and that is the reason it shows as in passenger number HK1, which means it's confirmed for one passenger. Now here I have not added the passenger association. Because of this, it says HK2, which means this email ID belongs to both passenger. That is the reason it is showing as in status HK2. Understood the difference between HK1 and HK2? Anybody has any question? I'm giving you 2 minutes to think and ask the question. Yes, Shahad, please ask your question. Shahad, do you have any question? Can you explain me HK1 and HK2 difference? HK means holding confirmed. 1 means for one passenger, 2 means for two passenger. So here I have, tell me, for which passenger that I have associated phone number? Vipul, tell me. For passenger number 2. And passenger number 2 is a one passenger. That means a single entity. That is the reason it shows as an one. This phone number belongs to passenger number, only single passenger. But this email ID, I have not associated any passenger. Because of this, the system understands that this phone email ID belongs to both passenger. Okay? Understood? Vipuli? All right. All right. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you understand it. Now, tell me, have I done any changes in the PNR? Yes or no? What changes that I done in the PNR? I added phone number. I added the email ID. So remember one thing and make a note in your brain. Whenever you do any changes in the PNR, you must have to save it. Without saving, the changes will not get reflected. No matter right now it is reflecting, but if you ignore the PNR, the changes will not get saved. To reflect in the PNR, the changes should be saved, and that is going to be saved through this way. RF, NM, that means who is going to change this PNR? Who is changing something in the PNR? That's me. So I am going to write my name. Suppose Shahad is going to change, so he has to write his name. Hafsa is going to change, he has to write his name or her name. Okay. RF, my name, then put a semicolon. Now, why semicolon? Because now I am going to add two commands simultaneously. Okay. So This is the one set of command, reference, and now the another command, ER, enter. Now again, it will tell me the warning, override the warning, ER. Now the changes gets saved. Yes, no? Yes, Abdul, you can ask a question. Infant with a different surname to parent's surname, how to put the name. Okay, here is the answer of your question. Infant with a different surname. Here is the answer. Now see, what is the surname for this adult passenger? Tell me, Abdul. Abdul, Singh. Abdul, I'm asking to you. Thank you, Aarti. But I'm expecting answer from Abdul. Abdul, are you there in the session? Yes. Now, what is the surname for this infant? Sane. That's the way. It's very simple. It is similar to enter the adult passenger. How are you going to enter this adult passenger? You need to enter the same way in the for the infant passenger. Only difference is you need to enter INF before the surname of the infant passenger. Okay, so that the system understand that okay, this is a infant passenger. All right. Your question is answered. Any other question? Tell me quickly. All right. Ticket time again. Ticket trimming. I do not understand ticket trimming. Oh, ticket timing, are you telling me, right, Aarti? If you unmute yourself and ask the question, that will be good for me to understand that where is the confusion. Is it possible to unmute? Aarti, quickly, if possible, unmute yourself or ask a question. HE is the help page. If you want to take the help for the TK command, what is the TK? Why am I going to use this TK command? That is the help page for TK command. HE is the help command. Is it the question that you're asking, Aarti? Or something else? Aarti, waiting for your response. Okay, 4-1 is HKTK. Where is the 4-1? Aarti, if possible, please unmute yourself. Okay, this is an automatic cancellation. If passenger, you have already committed to the passenger that, so if you make the payment by so and so date, or the PNR will automatically gets cancelled. So if you enter TKTL, suppose the difference here, what is the difference between TKTL and TKXL? Suppose the passenger said, okay, I'll not make the payment today, I'll make the payment tomorrow. Okay. Now you said this passenger to very exactly and very upfrontly. So if you do not make the payment tomorrow by so and so date and time, the PNR gets cancelled. Now, there are two ways to do so. Either if you enter TKTL and the date. So what happened here? You need to open the PNR manually and call the passenger and then ask that whether you are looking for a PNR or whether you are looking to cancel the PNR. If passenger said cancel the PNR, then you manually cancel the PNR and then cancel the PNR manually. But however, if you want your system to perform the same cancellation, so what you do, you enter the TK Excel and the date. So what happened? The PNR gets automatically cancelled on this date if the PNR did not get ticketed by this date. Okay, it is written here. Use this with very caution as it generates auto cancellation of the PNR as per the date and time specified. Understood the automatic cancellation? Any other question, Aarti? Ticketing time limit, date and time. See, the ticketing time limit. So here, the ticketing time limit will be provided by us. So this is the time limit which you provide or which you take is by yourself. That is not the airline. Now tell me, the seat selling is from the airline side. That means the seat which you sell is from the airline, or is sold by the airline or given by the airline, or given by your wish that okay, you can sell n number of seats. So definitely it's an airline seat. So airline will provide you a different time limit, and that time limit is the final time limit. However, this time limit is just for your purpose. That okay, I understand that airline, suppose airline has given a time limit for 10 days or 4 days or 2 days, and you have a time, you have a good relation with a passenger. Passenger said, I'm not going to make the payment right now. Allow me or give me a time for 2 hours or 3 hours frame to make the payment, or one day, at least one day, so that I can make the payment. So what will you do? You enter the time limit so that the PNR at least gets created for because you must have to enter that ticketing time limit at least one TKOK or the TKTL. If you do not enter either one of them, the PNR did not get created. And just because of this, you have to enter one of the ticketing time limit, either TKOK or TKTL. If you do not enter any one of them, the PNR will not be allowed to create or will not be created. Understood, Aarti? All right. Now, let's go and start working some other thing. We have 15 minutes. Let me quickly perform some of the command. Now, see, the phone number which I have entered here and the email ID which I have entered here is being used by the airline because it's directly sent the message and information to the airline. Now, suppose you want to send any message directly to the airline related to the passenger. Suppose there is a passenger, let's take an example that this passenger is a VIP passenger. Okay, now you want to send the information because you know this information that this passenger is a VIP passenger. Now you want to send their message directly to the airline. How would you send this message? How the airline understand that okay, this passenger is a VIP, this passenger is a celebrity, this passenger is MD of a company? How the airline will understand, or how the airline will know this information? This will be sent through a command, and that is done through OSI, and that is called as an other service information. This will be used to share any special information related to the passenger shared to the airline. How would you send this special information? Through a command OS. OS is the command which will be used to share the information, special service information related to the passenger. And you type here the airline code. Suppose I want to send this special information to which of the airline? Sri Lankan airline. So I type the Sri Lankan airline code here, and it's a free flow text. So I write a passenger number 1 is a celebrity. I'm just taking an example. So what will happen? The message will be sent to the Sri Lankan airline that okay, this passenger number 1 is a celebrity. Okay, so if the airline need to do some special arrangement for the passenger number one, so definitely they will do. But your job is to share the special information to the airline. Special information related to the passenger sent to the airline. You have to share that information. If you do not do so, how the airline will understand? And then it might be a possibility that a customer will get angry on you, that why don't you share the information to the airline that I am a celebrity. Once I reached the airport, I met a lot of problems. A lot of people gathered there. They started they want me to give the selfie, and then so on issues will happen. Okay, so instead of this, you share the simple information that this passenger is a celebrity. Okay, now if the airline find it to arrange some special arrangement for that passenger number one, they do it, and this is the way. So how would you send any special information of passenger to the airline? How will you send? Tell me the command OS, and you need to enter the 2-letter airline code as well. So suppose I want to send this information to the in the PNR, there is another airline. Let's take an example. There is another airline here, American Airlines, and I want to send only this information to American Airlines, not to Sri Lankan Airline. So what should I write here? Tell me. AA. That's great. But I want to send now here. Okay, thank you so much. I can see a lot of people have replied. Now, there is a twist in the question. I'm going to change the question once more. Now, I want to send the information to be shared with both the airlines, American Airlines and the Sri Lankan Airlines. I don't want to send a separate information shared to separate airline. I want to send a general information to both the airlines. Now, what should I write here? If there are two different airlines, instead of typing any airline code, I type YY. YY means it's a general airline that this message will be shared to all the airlines. Okay, and then free flow text. Got it? Yes, no? Okay. So this is the way you can pass on the message to the airline. Any special information message for that passengers special information sent to the airline. How would you do so? This is the way. OS, the 2-letter airline code, and the free flow text. Okay. Clear? All right. Now there are other ways to do so. Suppose you have created a PNR in this in your office. Let's take an example. This PNR has been created by you. Okay, and there is a discussion between you and your passenger that okay, what I'll do, I will hold the PNR for this much date, but tomorrow anyhow you have to make some payment so that I can take an approval from my company, and then ticket will be issued. There is such a way discussion happened between you and your customer. Now, how would the other people know about that discussion has happened between you and your customer? How the other people get to know? So then there is a way that you send an email to all of the colleagues who are working in your office, or there is a way to enter in the PNR. There is a way to add those discussion in the PNR, which will reflect in the PNR once any one of a person who is present in your office can read those discussion which has happened between you and your passenger. How would you add? So that will be done through a command which is RC. That's this topic I'm going to share with through this topic is related to add the remarks. Now, why I'm going to add the remarks? Because the discussion which has happened between you and your passenger, tomorrow you are not coming to the office, and or might be that you are going to take a leave for a couple of days. Okay, so how will other person know that that has discussed between you and your passenger? By entering the remarks in the PNR. And what is the way to enter the remarks? That no, not RM remarks, Kanchana. That here the RM remarks can be read by the airline, but the remarks which I am going to tell you here is the confidential remark. That means this remarks can only be read within the same office. Okay, so if you're sitting in the same office location, then those people can only read those remarks. And the command is RX. Okay, RX means it's a confidential remarks. Now you type like this. Um, I took approval. It's a short. I took approval from manager. I took approval from manager. That means I've already taken the manager's approval. If passenger paid 10,000, 10K advance, we will issue the ticket. That's it. Now, any one of your colleague, if they open the PNR, they go and read this confidential remarks. Oh, sorry, the corporate remarks, not confidential remark. It's a corporate remarks. I'm really sorry for that. Really sorry about it. So RX is the corporate remarks. Now, anyone who is sitting in your office can read that remarks, and then they can do and they can act accordingly. Okay, that Naveen has already taken the approval from the manager that if passenger paid the 10,000 rupees, we'll issue the ticket. So what will happen? The moment passenger give you 10,000 rupees, you issue the ticket and give it to them. Okay. All right. Now, if I have added the corporate remarks here, so will it be saved in the PNR, or do I need to save it again? How do I save? Tell me the command for saving this corporate remarks. Directly, if I do ER, will it save here? Tell me. Tell me the complete command. Tell me the complete command then. Very nice. RF. Now, Madhusinka, if you are doing, then what will be the entry? Very nice. RF, NM, because right now I am doing RF, NM, and ER. Again, this is a warning message coming up. So I need to perform the last command, which is ER. And then the message or the thing which I have done in the PNR, the changes which I have performed will get saved here. Clear? Now, there are 2-3 commands that I'm going to just share it to you once more. Suppose if any of the information which is stored here and you found or you saw that this message or this information is wrong and you want to delete that message, how would you delete? Can anyone tell me? Suppose the message, the phone number is wrong. Now, the phone number is very wrong. Now you want to change this phone number and update with a new number. Then there is a command XE and the line number. Enter the line number 12. Enter. What will happen? The element which is present at line number 12 gets deleted. Now I did a change in the PNR. Then again, I have to perform RF, NM, and then ER. That will save the changes which I did it. Okay. So this is the way you can do or you can perform if you want to delete any one of the element present in the PNR. Suppose you want to cancel the entire itinerary. Then what is the command? xi is the command which will delete the entire itinerary, which means the travel sector, any of the services which is being added, all the informations will get added, automatically cancelled if I perform xi. Okay, so you want me to delete one of the segment? Tell me which segment do you want to cancel? Arti, you tell me. 12. So tell me the command. What is the command that I'll enter to delete the segment 12? XE12. Enter. See, at line number 12, if I scroll up, what is present at line number 12? Tell me. The passenger's phone number. Now, after performing XE12, now tell me what is present at line number 12? The passenger email ID, because the passenger phone number gets deleted. Understood? Now, if I have deleted any one of the element, so then again I have to save this so that the changes get saved. Yes, no? Yes. So then the changes get saved here. All right. Now, suppose if you want to cancel the entire itinerary because the passenger is no more interested in this PNR, passenger said, I don't want to travel. Actually, I was planning to go, but there was some change, or there is some change in my plan. I don't want to travel. So please cancel my entire itinerary. What is the command that you will use to cancel this entire itinerary? XI. Very nice. All right, that's it from today's session. Tomorrow, we will start covering the topic related to some of the modification and some of the additional optional elements. How do we add optional elements? These topic, and then we'll start with the pricing topic. So tomorrow, anyhow, we have to complete the pricing. All right, Aarti, definitely I will send it the quick reference guide to your email ID. Let me first of all copy this one, otherwise it will be vanished. All right. Now, is there any question anybody has? Everybody start saying thank you so much, sir. All right, no worries. I understand that you all have tired with this hectic session. So tomorrow we'll meet by 2 o'clock. Okay. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to stop sharing the screen. All right. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Recording stopped.